Kentuckians are still trying to get paid for unemployment as thousands more file for benefits. The latest jobless claims show more than 47,000 additional claims were filed for the week ending May 16th. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to a woman who lost her job in April and is still waiting on a check.
Andrea Baba was the victim of an ironic situation during COVID-19. Medical procedures were canceled to prevent the healthcare system from being overwhelmed, and medical people lost their jobs.
Yeah, they cut my hours, and I haven't really worked in over a month or month and a half. So.
Now she's overwhelmed trying to get her unemployment.
Yes, been on hold for hours and it'll hang up. Haven't been able to get through anything like that yet.
She's not alone. Nearly 800,000 Kentuckians have entered the unemployment rolls since March.
Fortunately, I have enough money saved up for right now. Has been helping me, but that is slowly running out.
Kentucky's unemployment rate is a whopping 15.4%, according to the latest numbers from the month of April. That compares to the United States rate of 14.7%. And if you look back a year ago, it was only 4.3%. What makes Baba's situation even worse is that she's expecting a baby, and there's no indication she'll be going back to work anytime soon.
I might not even be able to go back to work. I mean, I don't know after my maternity leave or, anything like that. That's just up in the air for right now, yeah.
Baba says what's also sad is that she loved her job as a med tech, and now her future seems so uncertain. In Franklin County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
State officials say Kentucky's civilian labor workforce was reduced by more than 200,000 people from March to April of this year. Restaurants will be able to serve dine-in guests starting tomorrow. Since March 16th, restaurants have been serving to-go and carry-out orders only. More than 2 months later, dining rooms in Kentucky will be open at 33% capacity. Thursday, Saison Mexican restaurant in Hazard spent time preparing to open their tables and booths. The staff met with the health department, who made sure procedures were put in place to follow the new guidelines.
Like all my employers, they have to wear masks and gloves, and make sure we clean every booth really well, sanitizer.
Saison will have stations for patrons to use hand sanitizer and will also space guests out. Saison hopes to open their outdoor seating soon as well. And check this out. One restaurant owner in Lithuania put mannequins around his restaurant to help with social distancing. He came up with the idea when he reopened his cozy restaurant and saw how empty it looked. After first considering sitting teddy bears and dolls at the empty tables, he decided to enlist fashion designers and boutique stores in the area to display their products and help his restaurant look busier. While many are getting used to being back in retail stores, some are noticing the closed signs on the doors are still up. And that's the case for one store in Prestonsburg. WYMT's Connor James talked with the owner.
A lot of retail stores opened up yesterday across the Commonwealth to the public. They are obviously doing a lot of sanitizing and cleaning while practicing social distancing, but not all stores are opening up. Here in Prestonsburg, the owner of the Mountain Muse says her doors will remain closed for a little because she has an issue with her immune system. Owner Heather Owen says she's moved all of her sales online. She's solely working from home. She's actually not been out in the community really at all through any of this. Owens has arthritis, and the medication she's taking, she says, weakens her immune system, which is why she's decided to stay closed for a little longer. She says the last couple months have been hard on her business, but she's still going to be able to reopen just fine.
It's kind of a thing I do out of, this is what I enjoy, this is what I love to do. So, as long as I can afford rent, which we're doing okay right now, I can afford the rent, we'll still be there.
Now, Owens does say her house is actually a little bit of a mess because this store is actually mostly empty. Everything in it is at her home where she's doing her work from. She does say, hopefully, the store will be open again in June. I'm in Prestonsburg. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Owen says her doors are hopefully going to be open Tuesday, June 2nd, but even then it will be more than likely be just for pickup orders. Toyota confirms someone has tested positive for COVID-19 at the Georgetown plant. A spokesperson says the case involves an on-site vendor employee. That employee has not worked on-site since May 14th. Toyota says the employee will remain in self-isolation until they are cleared by a doctor. Toyota employees returned to the Georgetown plant on May 11th after it was shut down for more than 5 weeks.
We're seeing those clouds and those rain chances once again today, but it wasn't as soggy and we saw just a little bit of sunshine. So the weather's starting to get a little bit better out there. We'll go ahead and take you up though to a few of those cameras as we look along Interstate 64 in Moorhead. They've kind of seen a little bit of those clouds and a few of those rain chances throughout the day. It looks like they might be drying out a little bit, but we'll continue, of course, to watch that trend as we head into tonight, as some of us still expected to see some rain. Looking outside that front porch at WYMT, beautiful blue skies and some of those white puffy clouds. So we are getting a nice little break from the rain and hopefully drying out just a little bit after some soggy days. Pinpoint Doppler, you can see that the flood warnings for Eastern Kentucky all have been canceled now, which is some good news. Rivers have receded. We've seen the flooding kind of go away, but we are still going to see some scattered showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms tonight and a little bit into tomorrow. That even continues as we head into the weekend. So for tonight, we'll see temperatures drop into the mid-50s. Few rain chances are possible, and those rain chances possible as we head into your Friday as well. We see those rain chances really continue into the weekend, but we do see that sunshine return, and we'll start to warm up heading into the holiday weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. Another inmate has died of COVID-19 complications from the Federal Medical Center in Lexington. The health department says that person who died was a man in his 60s. According to the Bureau of Prisons website, there are currently 212 cases involving FMC inmates and 4 active staff cases. The Lexington-Fayette County Health Department only reported 5 new cases of COVID-19 today. Yesterday, funeral homes could reopen with more capacity, allowing for more people to join in on funeral services. WYMT's Dakota Makris tells us what this means for funeral homes in our area.
Behind these brick walls, we find Mike Masters, the co-owner of House Rawlings Funeral Home in London, preparing to meet new guidelines.
We will allow the families to sit together, but we still want to practice social distancing with friends that come in and that may stay to attend the funeral. We want to keep that distance and keep within the guidelines.
Funeral homes are now able to open at 33% capacity, which Masters says is a relief for families.
You know, going from 10 people to 60 to 70 people, in our case, we're fortunate enough to have a large facility, and that's going to be a huge burden lifted off the families.
Ingle Bowling Funeral Home in Hazard can hold 71 people at 33% capacity, but staff is still making sure everyone is safe, even limiting handshakes and hugs.
We will have a funeral director at the door. Nobody will have to touch anything. That's our goal, to better serve the families, to make people feel comfortable in the community.
Hoping to bring a little more peace to an already grieving family.
The last 2 months I've saw it, and you know, when there's only 10 folks there, you know, there's been people that are immediate family that hasn't been able to come.
Allowing families to focus more on remembering the life of their loved one. Dakota Makris, WYMT, Mountain News.
Folks at both funeral homes say employees will wear masks and practice social distancing. Lounges in all funeral homes throughout the state will remain closed. Former Pike County Judge Executive Bill Deskins died in his home yesterday. The 90-year-old public servant was county sheriff for 2 terms before serving as judge executive for 2 non-consecutive terms. Deskins left office in early 2019 as the fiscal court moved to a commissioner form of government, but those who worked with him say he left a piece of himself behind.
Someone's idea was better than his, and it better suited the situation. He always took the better idea, and that's something that I've adapted in my work ethic now. He was great to work with, great to be around, a great leader.
We will hear more about Deskins' legacy coming up at 6. Coming up here on Mountain News at 4:30, Zoom is a popular platform these days for communicating, and some con artists are trying to take advantage.
Well, hang on to the gloomy conditions tomorrow, but sunshine returns for that holiday weekend. I'll have a look at both forecasts coming up in a little bit.